A lovely gathering. So, who are all of these folks? 11 all told, including me, the photographer. Well, this is the trailhead for Sentinel Pass and Eiffel Lake. Carrie can be shown there. She's the second from the right. The couple on the far left is this nice couple we met from Switzerland. There was another couple from Texas, I think. The rest were from Holland. So why such an entourage? Well, when Carrie and I got to the trailhead, we were met by the Swiss couple who had been halted by the large warning sign at the trailhead. Grizzlies frequenting area. Hikers in groups of less than 6, if caught by the rangers, would be fined a hefty sum of $1,000 per person. So the four of us were forced to hang out until reinforcements arrived, which is this group. So we all started out together, one big happy family. Or so it would seem. So what started out as a pleasant hike through the woods quickly disintegrated into a somewhat forced march as one of the Dutch guys, the fellow there in the back left in the blue cap, assumed command, erroneously, I might add. He was also in a flaming hurry to get there. At one point, where I had paused to reload film, he charged past me in an angry huff, hurtling epithets of "beer belly." Yeah, right. I'm 6'2" and barely sport 180 on a fat day. So as we were marching along, it'd get a little bit warm, and so he'd stop and pause the whole group and says, "Everyone, coats off, coats off." And then we'd walk a little further, and then it'd start drizzling, and so he'd stop and say, Everyone, raincoats on." And when we'd go on, the rain would stop, he'd turn around, "Everyone, coats off." And when it was time for lunch, he'd stop, "Everyone, stop, lunch." So when the whole thing was over, we were we and the Swiss couple were glad to part company with what we called the Dutch military. So anyway.